Hello, welcome to the Final Year Project, a limited series podcast featuring real conversations of the graduating class of MSc2 Architecture OAU, recorded as we count down to the end of our final year. Today's date is February 13th. 2026, and I'm with Gideon, Las Giddy,
As I
and Timilehin, Ogatimi, with me in the studio this morning. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Nah, so sorry for keeping you guys waiting.
No problem.
Are you feeling comfortable with your lungs?
I will be feeling comfortable when the Amala arrives.
This one that you are still waiting for Amala like this.
No, just for you.
How far now? You people should just me. Timmy, I have not seen you in a long time.
What do you define by a long time? I think
Since graduation, since convocation.
I think
That's like 2 years ago.
Except for the times that I did, I was in his apartment, coming once in a while.
Yes,
but that was in MSc1.
That was last year.
I think it was towards the first and second quarter of last year. So it had actually been a long time, so I can.
So how have you been now?
Well, I think I've been good generally. I mean, we're all having things that we are trying to face, trying to sort out, trying to handle, figure out, and all that combined together. So, but generally, I'm good, by the grace of God.
That's all the updates you can give.
Well, if you're talking about updates, I think we should try to identify the kind of updates. Is it money updates?
Right.
Is it?
Gideon, you have been seeing your face. So I even still saw your face yesterday. I don't feel like asking you how far.
Yeah. Where?
Abi, you have any new information for me?
Information for you. Nothing new. Yeah, I've been good now. There's nothing new, sure.
How was your jury yesterday?
I can't say I have a jury yesterday because my supervisor was not around. Then the man that was around was just checking my work. Like it wasn't scrutinizing like that. I was just explaining my work to him. So, and he was rushing yesterday. So like I just have like a presentation, not a jury session. It's just a presentation. So that's it.
Alright. At least your day, even though you did not really have jury, it went way better than my own yesterday.
At least you know what's left for you to do. You know the next thing for you
We
to
shall
do.
see. I'm still not clear on what what we are supposed to do, but let's see.
Analyzing from old to part. That was what I can remember yesterday.
Let's not even get into it. Timmy, do you know why? Let me direct the question to two of you. Do the two of you know why you are paired together for this episode? Sure, you know you are the first pairing.
Me.
Yeah, two of you together. First two
I don't know.
guests.
For real. I don't know the reason. I wanted to ask you, said that, like, why do you pay us? Like,
I think
do you know?
I think I already know based on the last conversation we had.
So what's the reason?
Well, being the fact that we have limited time left, to be able to do this podcast.
There are 60-something of us.
that's true.
And regards, the deadline is December. I want to end the
December.
podcast in December. And like convocation day is supposed to be the last day.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I've already calculated how many of us are around.
The great mathematician.
And then, so we have to pair some people together. Even some people will be 3 in 1. So, but let's see, Sha. That even the last episode with Ramakwe, it was supposed to be her and Osas, but unforeseen circumstances led to
It happens.
led to us not recording. So now, congrats on being the first two.
Where?
But you guys know each other now.
No. Do we?
I'm not sure.
What if we do it? Don't we share two of you don't go to GLT.
That doesn't matter now.
So you don't know
Do
each
you know
other.
the number of people that go to
I
GLT?
and Ore, we attend the same church. I and Femi attend the same church.
Right.
I and was we are many that attend
Julius
GLT.
too.
Julius too, yeah. Julius too attend GLT. So
Right. So two of you barely know each other basically.
I'm just joking. We know each other.
Who are you one? Even myself, I know you know each other now.
Okay.
Eh.
Why do you say that?
I think I've even had a conversation, like three of us like this.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah,
once.
that's true.
But
It's just once
four,
that
yeah,
time.
I think it was Studio 4.
But I shall know two of you talk. It's not like I've seen two of you as party, but I know that you guys talk, so you should feel comfortable a little, even though it's not complete.
Impressive. Impressive deduction. You know, we're able to deduce that,
That's
we are
why
past.
Sherlock Holmes are making.
The great detective.
Okay, so let me start with Gideon. Gideon, introduce yourself to whoever might be listening to the podcast.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My name is Gideon. Gideon Adeyemo. I'm a postgraduate student, architecture. So I'm MSc2. What else? I'm single. If you're listening to me for the first time.
Damn, that was very
What else?
Valentine Eve.
What else?
Valentine is coming. Hey,
nothing
where's your
spoiled.
girlfriend?
So what else?
Hey, lonely.
Azar.
interesting. That's actually the first time I hear someone introduce himself as I'm single.
No, he's saying 4 facts about him now. Let him continue.
So what I love doing, I love creativity, creative thinking, anything creative. So what else?
What do you do for work?
What do I do for work? What I do for work that's paying me is basically architecture.
The one that is not paying you, paying you, uncle.
The one that's not paying me, music. For now, music is not paying me for now. So
Music how? You
as
sing
in-
or you play
No.
piano or what?
production and playing. I
Right.
play the piano, so and I do music production, so and beat making. So yeah. That's just it. That's me. Okay.
Timmy, let's get to know you.
All right. So my name is Alaoluwa Timilehin, aka Timilehin. And what's funny now? It's not funny. That's a very special nickname. All right. I'm an architecture graduate from Obafemi University, and what do I do? Nothing much though, but I do designs. I'm the kind of person I love the concept of design in its vastness. The design is vast, and I love the concept of design in every space, architecture, art. Every space that design finds itself. And something about myself, I love listening to music, and I think to some extent I'm a jovial person. I like to interact with people, get to the fun side of conversations and not just boring things. And aside that, I'm a brand designer, as some people know, and I'm also into product design. As a new freedom, I'm exploring, just still surrounding the concept of design. So
And that's what I knew you as now. You were doing graphics.
It started out as graphic design, then brand design, now product design.
So, if someone wants to hire you now, what's your job description?
There was a recent trend about Bubu Niche. I think something around Bubu. But although it's not Bubu Niche, but I think everything is just limited to brand design, product design, and architectural design. Just those three things.
All right. Gideon, your job description. Even though this is the second time I'm asking you.
Job description.
Eh,
Design architect at the moment. So
right. Okay, now you guys, how did you meet each other in the department?
that's a nice question.
I never thought about that.
That's a nice question. Can I? Okay, who's going first? Is it me?
Go.
If you remember anything, feel free to.
Can I remember how we met? The thing is, you can't just how we met, how we had the first conversation. That's
I
that.
actually can't really remember.
You were this
This
student
student,
now.
so
Yeah.
it was definitely in part two.
Part two,
But I don't think it
eh.
was the beginning of part two.
It could have been
Yeah, because I
we
wasn't-
had even COVID self.
And I wasn't really the type of socializing very well then, so I mean, it was difficult. I actually really can't tell.
Yeah, I can remember from Patusha. I remember some. I can't remember that this is the first time we met, but I remember that he was kind of close with Boboyi that time,
Oh,
and
okay.
I was close with Boboyi too. So him and Boboyi, they used to like talk.
Oh.
Then fast forward to Swep days. Yeah, I think we started talking during that time because I remember there was a jury we had.
Swap is end of part two.
Yeah, end of part two.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think we really.
That's so
it was,
funny
It was
because-
actually. I think it was actually in part three that we actually
three,
really
yeah.
started.
Yeah.
Because same thing for me too. Most of everybody that I talk to
Because in
now
part two,
is
I talked to everybody in
Swep
part two.
that-
Like I was, but not. I didn't have like a close friend. Okay, the only person is, let's say, Thomason, and that was because we were in Fudge together. So I used to go to Thomason's place.
Oh, both of you stayed on campus.
For me, okay.
I stayed on campus,
I stayed
yeah.
on campus throughout. Wow, that's an interesting fact.
Then I campus Stratton.
Part one to part four. That was crazy, right?
No wonder you people are so calm and level-headed. If you've gone through the suffering of
Suffering of-
hostel,
Yeah.
there's nothing that can freeze you again.
Oh. Okay, that's
Alina.
true.
Deep
Well,
experience.
Or it's not really applicable like that.
I can't say. Because there's no, okay. Maybe sometimes the light and water, sure. That's
But
just.
do you think staying on campus with all the trials makes you tougher somehow?
Not necessarily, but then I think every environment has its challenges, and you get to adapt to those challenges depending on the environment. OU hostels had its challenges, so it still has its challenges, obviously. But then I think, I think it was just hostels having their challenges, and you just having to go through it and survive. But then it was a lot, especially the water aspect. Was and you know, like in my part one, there were 8 people in the room, and I think that's the way it still is now. 8 people in the room. Now imagine you having to fetch water down, knowing the probability of water not being available tomorrow. Now you go to class and you come back and realize that as soon as you use the water, oh the frustration. And you cannot fight because what's the purpose of you fighting? If you fight, will the water come back? No, you just have to like find a way to just manage the whole experience. But I think one thing for me that I was able to manage first is establish that relationship whereby everyone understands that you don't really touch my water, not in a bad way. Everyone respects me, I respect every other person, and they respect that rule that, of course, it's not as if maybe it's all the time that they will not touch it, but they still touch it, but it won't be as though you have to keep correcting or keep, telling them to. So, I mean, it was filled with lots of experiences, but we thank God we scaled through and we survived.
I can't even imagine living on campus.
Why imagine?
Just stay on campus.
Okay. You've listened to the podcast before, have you seen me?
Yeah, I've listened to
Gideon, you never listen.
I've listened. Sure, I've listened. I was the one that. Are you the one handling the YouTube stuff?
I know.
I was the one that commented on
I saw your
Jojo's
comments.
and. Okay, I didn't comment on Timothy's one. So I listened to Jojo's and
So
Timothy's.
I don't think I need to run down the whole process. Let me just be asking you the questions. So answer as honestly as you can.
Yeah.
Video face
Alright.
me a bit. Okay. Timmy, let me start from you. Why did you pick Aki and why did you pick Ife?
Well, these are 2 interesting questions. I think the fact that is architecture number 1 tells the fact that there's usually there will be a story and a serious one depending on the person. But for me, it was a long story. Why? Because it wasn't something that I figured out on time, and it started out as me being a design person. I love design, and one of the talents I got as a person as a person and that God gifted me was the ability to draw. I mean, I had that talent. I used to draw offhand characters, vehicles, just different stuff. And then I grew attached to the concept of art, so I was always used to that. And then it got to when I entered secondary school, I was interested in cars, the concept of cars, the designs and all that. So initially, I actually wanted to study mechanical engineering, But along the line, I realized I wasn't good in chemistry. I'm not going to lie about that. I wasn't good in chemistry. And chemistry is a prerequisite for to study mechanical engineering, which was the closest course to it. And I wasn't good at that. And also, one of my elder brother studied architecture, and I was at the crossroads of trying to figure out what else I could study if not mechanical engineering. I was thinking of going into finance, but then I wasn't really liking the way the finance industry was, or should I say, yeah, was as at the time that I was trying to make the research. Then I figured out, well, architecture was something practical, and I'm a practical person. I don't like theory. I don't like theory. So I was, yeah, I mean, not that architecture.
You came
yes,
to
yes,
theory,
actually.
yeah.
But then I think I did more research and I realized that I love the concept of architecture, you designing spaces, buildings, and all that. And then I think that was it was my brother actually majorly influenced my coming to architecture school. And why it was because I practically grew up in Ife and my parents worked in Ife. So it was much easier for me getting admission, the whole process and all that into OAU. And proximity to, not that I actually wanted that at first. I think I wanted to pick FUTA when I was doing my research. But then the fact that my parents already said, well, I'm going to OAU, I just knew that I didn't have any other option than to, because it was much easier. So yeah, that's what made me feel.
Yeah, welcome to Ife.
He lives in, he was where?
Do you know
grew up
what
in
this
Ife
is
now?
in Ife, Sha?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, now wow. And you're still here with
I mean,
us.
Is the short.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, doing your NYSC
Oh my
currently.
goodness,
Yeah.
so good.
In Ife.
Don't worry. we'll soon-
Imagine you are talking to your children. I think
I
my
was
primary
born
school.
in
I was born in
Ife.
Ife.
No,
I
I
went
went
to
to
Ife.
school.
Do you know the interesting thing? Even though this is outside me, but the interesting fact is that all my brothers and I, we all went through the same process. We schooled, we were born and raised in Ife. We schooled in Ife.
How about NYSC?
And you all currently live in Ife now.
No, we don't all currently live in Ife. So that's an interesting fact.
Why do you like Ife that much?
Not that I actually don't.
But
I
I
don't.
can understand though. It has a way of sucking you in. You may not necessarily like this place, but
It's a one thing.
you get is it attached to it or used to it? It's
I won't
a
say
very
attached, it's
routine like place. So you don't feel like that.
I
You get
don't. After MSc like this, I'm leaving.
One thing about Ife that I really like is just peace. I mean, you don't really get to face a lot of problems when it comes to you going about your daily activities. But aside that, nothing really there. I won't even encourage someone to really come and say to you, except you just want to come for maybe like a peaceful time, or you just
or
want to,
remote workers like Ife.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Remote workers, remote workers, they don't even really go out today. They mostly stay in their room. They said they want to just go out for something, refreshment activities and all that. But I mean, can you? If I ask you now, how many refreshments or how many recreational places, just for the fun aspect of it, not like I'm trying to sum it up.
No,
You can't
no,
exactly.
no.
So imagine you not really having places to go when you just want to cool your head and all that. So nothing much.
Motion garage.
Gideon, why did you pick Aki? And why did you pick Ife? And as a DE student, you made the decision twice.
Twice as well.
And
Yeah,
like
no.
you first did
Okay.
direct entry, then
Why do I pick Aki first? Like I said earlier, like I like creativity. I like design generally. But if I didn't mean I had more exposure about other opportunities aside from architecture, it's possible I would like gone further. So,
like what?
like industrial design, all those anything design, sure. Or maybe tech. I would have gone for other opportunities. But like I said, it's all about creativity. Even in architecture that I'm in now, my part of architecture is like creative thinking. That's why if you look at my design, the way I approach design, although I might not like finish the design, but you know that this guy puts to the creativity part of this design. So yeah, that's the reason why I chose architecture. At then that was like I saw architecture as like a design stuff, and design requires creativity. So and in my family, we like creativity too. My sister likes drawing. My dad loves drawing. My dad loves all this design and stuff. So yeah, architecture.
So it's a family thing for you.
Yeah, my sister would have studied the architecture too, but where you didn't. She went to architecture. So
So what made Ife a good
Ife,
option for you?
I didn't even like. I don't have any Ife because I'm in university. I didn't like. I didn't have any preference during that time. So I think it's just because of people around me that most of us in my class in secondary school.
Where
most of
in
them-
Ibadan?
No,
Lagos.
Oshobo. So most of them are saying you want to go to Ife, and most of our seniors too. Ife, family friend, Ife. I mean to go to Ife. At least when I get to Ife, I will see people
You will
too.
not be so alone.
I mean, now
I remember in my past 1 days, literally every time, because me and Thomason, we were always like going to places together. I could remember that time. I mean, I would always see someone that I knew, greeting, hello, how are you doing? Just because of the fact that I've been in the field of my life, so it was really fun.
And you were making fun of Timmy being in Ife all his life, only for you to say you went to school in Oshogbo.
Ife is different from Oshobo now.
Oh, please.
Isn't it different?
Not be the same Osho State.
Okay,
It's about still.
But Oshobo is different from Ife. It's very, very different. Have you been to Oshobo before?
Not really.
When you are living, okay, there are some towns before Oshobo before you get. So when you get to Oshobo, you will know the difference.
Oh, please.
For real.
Actually,
Go to Oshobo.
the first time I went
when you
to
get to
Oshobo,
Oshobo, you know the difference.
the first place I went to, I think it was another immigration
Oshobo
office.
is very, very, very different.
I was already enticed by the good road that they have there. But like if you were like you cannot walk 1 kilometer, you not see any portal. So
Oshogbo is that far.
You know Oshobo is the capital of Osun State now.
into Oshogbo
At
like
least Oshobo is the capital of Osun State. So
I think every capital is always better than
Tell that to Lagos.
well, because is a huge ball game on its own.
yep. So
Okay.
that's it.
Gideon, I'm going to ask you, what's the funniest thing that has happened to you? And what's the worst thing that has happened
What's the
to
funniest thing?
you? Since you came to OAU, or more specifically in the department?
Funniest in the department. Do I keep track of that?
You don't have any memory of laughing or...
There are times you will laugh, but I mean, there are different things that will make you laugh every day. So, I think one of the things that always makes me laugh is Afis. Why are you guys laughing? Afis always makes me laugh when anytime he's presenting, the way.
You people are not good at all.
I'm not making just of him, but I'm just saying that it makes me laugh.
It's a good.
It just makes me laugh. The way we normally like, the way we are talking like this. So if we are like just talking on a normal level, but if you are presenting, the way we just switch immediately and that just makes me laugh. So yeah, I can't really say that I have the funniest moment. Sure. I have different. When
Okay, what of the worst thing that has happened
What's worst in the department? I don't think I have any worst. The only thing I have is, let's say, a center issue. When in part 2, there was a time I was drawing. I don't know what project we were doing that time. I was drawing I think I stood. We were using that green. So I think I was not standing. I stood for a long period of time. So my leg got swollen, and I went to the medical center. They didn't attend to me, and that leg was paining me that time. They didn't attend to me at all. They said I should come back the next day. I was like, that was when I zeroed my mind on a center. I will never ever go to a center again.
So that's your worst experience.
I would say that because I don't have any worst experience.
Wow.
I just say that was when I decided that a center now is trash. Sure.
Your life must be great for that to be your worst experience.
Yeah, that was what I can remember as my... In the department, I don't have any worst experience. Even I don't think so. No.
Okay, no.
Jury, no.
When he said he's this creative, so I'm not surprised.
Okay, Timmy.
For me, to say this, I can't really pinpoint that I have like specific worst or specific fun moments. But I remember in part 2, we used to have this modeling class, right? And I'm not to boast, but I think everyone, or let me say a lot of people in the class, knew that time that I was quite good in terms of the modeling. And there was one assignment that one of the lecturers gave. I'm not going to mention his name. He told us to model one car, aerodynamic, all those job description kind of stuff. And then it got to the point where everyone was supposed to present what they did. And some people in our class used 3D printers. I can never forget. And then this man walked up to these guys. He checked one of their model and was like, wow, this is really good and all that. I was like asking her, what did they use to make it? And they said plastic. They used melted candle. It was candle. No,
it's not candle. Melted plastic. Which Said said melted plastic. I was at their back now.
Yeah. So I was like, which one is melted plastic? This thing is very waste that it's printed, and you can't really tell that. The way they described was like a metal plastic that they were now sculpting it. They carved it. I was like, how can this man that has years of? I'm not saying this to bad mouthing, but I'm like, how can the man that has this experience not be able to differentiate between something that's one called melted plastic and a 3D printed object. So it was really
3D printer is using plastic and is eating it up. So it's still melted
but then I think that was one of the fun moments that I had. And one of the worst, I think I can recall 2. The first one was, I think we were doing, is it Crutch? But we were trying part 2 as well. And I remember, everyone, literally, not everyone, but most people walk through the night to the day of jury. And I remember walking through the night as well. And I wasn't really prepared. Till morning, I was still in the studio. And I remember I had to quickly go to ETF because I was staying in ETF as at the time to go and change. Then I wasn't even really thinking of what to wear. I just go to my hostel, I put on a t-shirt and a normal trouser and a sneaker. That's how I got to my time for jury. The first thing they commented about me was my bad dress and my headphones blow. I was like, damn. Imagine you starting off a jury on a bad note. You already know that everything is probably going to go off. Then another lecturer came to my work and was like, wrote flat work. Man, waiting with this into the long. I mean, the jury literally went by, and I mean, people already gathered around anticipating to hear that. So it was. I was really, really sad. I mean, I think that was the worst jury experience that I ever had.
Was that part 2, 3?
It was in part 2.
Part 2.
I remember. I still remember the color of the shirts now. Blue shirts, deep blue trousers, and blue sneaker. I think I still have the pictures still. So it was a really bad one. And the other experience I had was in part 3 when my PC crashed and we had jury that day. I literally didn't have any work to present. So, but I think I said I can't really say that I've had bad or worst experience in the department. I mean, we all laughed together daily based on the kind of work that we do. So I think it was pretty much good in general.
You said you were doing NYSC now.
Fortunately, yes.
Fortunately.
I don't want to believe I have unfortunate moments or experiences. So.
Right. So when will you be done?
By June, by the grace of God, I will be done by June to mark 1 year.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm a jogger.
I was up. Gideon is doing. The 2 of us we are doing MSc together. So I used to see this one very well.
Oh yeah, nah.
but Timmy, why didn't you do MSc with us?
I think that was a tough decision for me. I remember in part 4, when we were in part 4, I tried to do a bit of observation and research. I won't say research, but let me just say observation amongst our peer, trying to understand what people want, what they're trying to do, their future and all that. I was at a crossroad of trying to rediscover my purpose, trying to understand what I actually really want in life. And while architecture school was fun, it didn't really give me that opportunity. For me, it didn't really give me that opportunity or privilege to be able to figure out what kind of future I want in architecture. Why? Because architecture in OE was just centered around designing buildings, and I believed when I was doing my research before entering OU, I realized that there were different fields in architecture. So I came with the mindset that I'm going to come into OU and explore these different opportunities to be able to figure out what I actually want. But I didn't find that everything was just centered around designing buildings, health center, and all that. So I had to just take a pause and try to rediscover what I actually want. Yeah. So I didn't go for MSY because I wasn't pressured into going to it, well, because a lot of people usually just decide they want to go to it immediately after BSc. But for me, it wasn't like that. I wasn't pressured into it, and I wanted to take time to be able to figure out some things because, of course, the future matters a lot, and I'm not willing to just take any step without understanding what I actually want. So I'm still within that phase of rediscovering myself, understanding what I actually really want. I'm actually still going to do my masters if I wish or I still desire to do my masters, but definitely not in OU. I desire to find an environment that is going to.
All of you just a shank way.
I'm not actually trying to. OU in its own way is actually good, but for me, like I said, I'm personalizing. For me, it wasn't. It's not the kind of experience I actually desire.
Gideon, what are you mumbling? Why did you come to do masters in OU?
So sorry, before you actually and if you actually do a survey of people that actually currently doing masters in a way, if you ask them the same question that why are they doing masters, I won't guarantee you, but I can also tell you for a fact that a lot of them are not doing it for the purpose of actually let me put it, they are not doing it for the purpose of let me get my profession. They are just doing it to buy time. Let me put it that way.
Are you buying time?
Am I buying time? No. I see myself practicing architecture.
Can you see that?
I'm not saying people in our class won't practice architecture, but definitely I can also tell for a fact that not everyone will actually stand up practicing architecture, even though you're doing MSc.
That's true. But for me, like the future I see myself practicing architecture. So, and when you look, I mean, it might not be fully because I have a lot of things to do. So, and when you look at it, what's doing well. Yeah. And when I see an opportunity to do masters and someone is ready to sponsor me, why not take the opportunity before I go into that?
For me, it's a mixture of. Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Yes, because I'm actually curious because you
want to ask me why I decided to do masters. Wait, I'm always giving what?
I would say now you give the vibe of someone who is, because of your experience as well, you've been giving the vibe of someone who might not even actually go into architecture. So I'm actually curious.
Well, you're right. I don't give a damn about architecture.
So I'm curious why you actually.
But
I think we already asked this question.
I said this too. I think it was
Jojo.
I think I've talked about it to almost everybody, even to Julius too. I'm doing it for multiple reasons. One is to buy time. True.
You see, so I never like to.
Two is that I've already spent 4 years.
Yeah.
Why not go all the way?
So it's not just 4 years. 4 years in architecture.
Exactly.
4 years.
I have the basic training. Mm-hmm. Should I now just dump it? Like if I'm going to have a career, this is the only one that I will have. So I might as well just go all the way. That's even why I was thinking of. But in terms of practicing, I think I want to go into like teaching it instead of like going to field work. So I'm still dabbling, putting my feet in academia. Let me see what that's like if I can survive it. You see, even this Aki school, throughout, I was just like, hey, God, like, do I even like anything that is happening here? But the way I am, the way I am wired, if I want to get something, I will see it through. No matter what's happening, I get
finish to the end.
Exactly. That's so. Yeah. It was not too difficult for me like that. Shall pass your exam.
Yeah.
Shall leave
Sabina.
in one piece.
And I think another thing I also find interesting about architectural school and students generally is I can't really find myself actually doing and studying another course outside architecture, being the fact that I've already been through it. I can't really see myself doing any other course.
Yeah.
I don't know. In terms of professional, I'm talking in terms of professional
Okay, like
course.
you can't see yourself doing something else.
Studying
as a
another
job.
as a professional job,
Okay.
yeah. Like you have law, you have mechanical engineering and all that.
Well, I think you can do other jobs, sure. Like professional courses too.
Even with your archi degree.
You can actually do it.
I'm saying
I
like
really-
courses that I find interesting.
I
Not
believe there are interesting courses to do, sure.
just the same way another person would probably like medicine. I would definitely don't like medicine. The same way another person would like maybe microbiology or just any other course. The fact that architecture in itself is something practical, even though of course everything has the theoretical aspect, but the architecture being something practical was something that I find fascinating. It's something that I find fascinating. I think that's something that actually really drew me closer to architecture generally. So yeah, I think that's.
Architecture.
How has NYSC been going for you?
I would have wished to say something really, really good, but then the experience hasn't really been what I expected it to be. It hasn't. I won't lie to you. It hasn't. I already outlined and figured out what I wanted to do, how I wanted it to go, and all that, but then instead of me going the x-axis, it seems like NYSC took me to the y-axis.
Okay, in terms of where they posted you. What's the problem exactly?
But the fact that I was posted to where I am currently, wasn't entirely my choice, but because I had limited options. And then me getting to the place and I realized that, oh my god, this is one of the worst places I could actually be. Why? Because the initial plan that I had was to have a lot of time to myself. I mentioned earlier about rediscovering, figuring things out, doing a lot of stuff and all that. So I figured NYC period would be a good time to utilize, to be able to do that stuff. But then where I'm posted to, it's really, really draining. Why? Because I go in the morning and I get back home late in the evening. I mean, sometimes I get home around 6, sometimes around 7, sometimes around 8.
Right.
Because there's no closing time. But
why didn't you work it? Allegedly, made them no come. Why didn't you work it or something?
I did. That's the ironic part. Allegedly, oh my god, I did catch that sometime. But allegedly, okay, let me know.
Try to cover yourself.
Actually, in a way, in the light of it, I wanted a place that was actually good, but then I couldn't get it. Let me not say too much, so I was not saying I couldn't get the place that I wanted. So.
Gideon, sure they will post us to NYSC by next year.
They will post us.
Is it you want to apply?
Is it you want to
they post you if you don't apply?
Sure they may post you to like Nasarawa or something.
Nasarawa for real.
I'm just imagining the people.
I'm curious to actually know if you want to do NYSC.
Me?
Yes.
Where do you
Of course not. I'm probably not going to apply safe.
Why?
Next year is election year now. Who will be counting votes for
It's not all core members.
You are sure going to assist.
No, it's not. I don't think it works that way.
It depends on where you are posted now. If you are posted to a government office, are you not going to do it?
Now it's different. For example, for instance now in NYC, I can't actually verify this, but in NYC there are different CDS group, community development services, and some have INEC CDS groups. So I think automatically those people are going to. I can't really verify that, but I think automatically those people are going to be part of the election process. But I don't know, Sha. But regardless,
I don't know. I'm just saying, being a copper is a
elections next
vulnerable.
day. That's for Osun State now.
Is a vulnerable. Next year, Nigerian election, presidential.
I don't even. Damn. Wow, that's crazy. So he has already spent about 4 years.
And now,
that's going to be a tough one.
it's not going to be tough for anything.
It's actually not going to be tough.
Not going to be tough.
The last one was. Well,
I'm not talking about. When I said tough, what do you think?
Tough, like you mean a tough race now.
Not even your topic. The whole process. I'm
Okay,
just talking
like
about the whole process generally.
general atmosphere
side.
around the
No, like election.
Oh,
the atmosphere in the
Yeah.
country. I think that's what it means.
Things, a lot of things happening, but we are not here to discuss politics.
well, I think it's one like we already experienced it before, so it's not new
Let's
thing.
anticipate.
Hey, if I say what's in my mind,
Say it now.
DSS will just come and carry me, and I will not cut lacking. Okay, let's move on to the next question. I'm going to ask Gideon first.
Okay.
As lover of creativity and so on and so forth.
Sorry.
What's your architectural hot take? What is that controversial opinion that you have for architecture, the way we practice it, the way it is done, the way we build, that you know that other people may not agree, but you stand by that opinion?
Other people may not agree. Wow. I think for now, just it's just the study of architecture in Asia. But I don't know about other schools. But I just feel for the fact that our, how would I call it, our past or the people that are teaching us now and the main architects and everybody, for the fact that they have passed through like a tough experience, does not mean that we, the young ones, should also experience that toughness or the, let's say, the bad thing they experience or the how it was hard for them to study architecture. Because then they'll be saying they study architecture, there was no software, there was nothing that makes it easier for them to study architecture, but now we have it easier for us. So for the fact that they always like hammer on that, I find it very annoying.
But that's not a hot take now.
Yeah.
Because most of us that are newly into the profession would know that we agree with you.
Okay.
So you don't have any opinion that they'll be like, get him.
No.
None at all. So you are perfectly fine with the way architecture is in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, no. No.
I think it's centered around
The thing is, architecture in Nigeria, there are a lot of things that influence architecture in Nigeria.
No, the tap table, bro.
Sorry. There are a lot of things that, you see how it's very cogent to me. There are a lot of things that influence architecture in Nigeria. Number one, technology. Number one, the technology. Because if you have the idea, if you create, if there's no technology to to implement it, you just, and also education. People that, because you can't just design for yourself and you say you want to build for yourself. People that are approaching you for your design. If you design anything and they are not saying what you are saying, or they don't have the funds to. So there are a lot of things. There are social upbringing, where they grow, their psychology. Because there was a design I worked on, a penthouse for a person. So after the design, I was being asked the psychology of the design, what's influenced the design. I was like, wow, you'll be the first person to ask me what was going. Because most of the time I just design, they will ask for the quotation and everything like that. So that was like, design in Nigeria is very complex, but I can't say people will.
You don't have any controversial opinion.
I just agree that for you, okay, well, no, I don't have. I'm just taking Nigeria as Nigeria. That's how it's going to be. You have to do a lot of work for you to come back. We are a third world country now, so just accept it and just go out of Nigeria if you want to, if you have the means to. So have a better understanding and knowledge.
This is so reflective of how you are normally. You don't have what take for architecture, you don't have what take for anything. No worst experience, nothing much. You are just chill, you just go, just flow.
Because when you know like the things to expect from, like, you won't have any high hopes.
Right.
That's it.
Okay, Timmy. Any hot take?
Well, it seems you're going to be the judge of it if it's going to be authentic or not. But for me, architecture in Nigeria, I feel to a certain extent, there's no originality to it. Why? Because most of the designs that people do now are just, how would should I say, I won't necessarily say similar, but then it feels like there's no context to it in terms of the region that we are in, given the fact that Nigeria has, when we were studying architecture, we were being told about history, culture, and all that. So I feel most of the architectural buildings that, especially residential homes, most of them don't really have original context into the environment that we find ourselves in. And I will tell you why. I think I was watching a video about I think Qatar, yeah, and I was literally looking at all their buildings, even though they really have modern, like ultra modern structures, you still find that element of their country, that symbol that shows that, yeah, if you look at this building, you can easily tell that, yeah, this is from maybe like an Arabian country or not. But in Nigeria, I mean, literally all residential homes are, they, number one, they have similarity in terms of the design approach. They do not really, to some extent, they do not really take into considerations the, should I say, climate, because I remember one excursion I went for in Lagos. One of the, I think, I can't remember the company, but they took us to one building, and the man was trying to let us know that some of these rich people, they don't really care about, whether you have large ventilation, clinical, everywhere, AC, clinical. I'm just like, well, even though, yeah, maybe they don't really care, but then there's no originality in terms of the way the design is. But I think that's just one of the major things I think I've seen in architecture in Nigeria that I'll see
We
as
don't
well.
have identity.
Yeah, we don't. I don't really. I can't really find the identity. Why? Because if you ask probably foreign architecture students to look at Nigerian architecture and say like, and try to pinpoint or identify what is peculiar to us, I don't think we really have. The only ones we had were in the past, and I don't think it's been continued. So
And that was influenced by a lot of things.
I was about to say that.
Lots of things.
That
Yeah.
there's a reason for that. But
of course, now I think everything still boils down to individuality. What the individual wants, especially in terms of the residential homes. Let's take for example. I remember when we were doing that container housing in I think it was in part 2.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, it was in part 2, and we asked to design a residential home using container housing. And I remember me and some guys were like trying to discuss like, would an average Nigerian actually adopt using container housing? And then we realized, no, even ordinary wood. No, not as if like wood is really suitable for a climatic condition, but then even ordinary wood, that people don't use, not on top of container. Of course, people are using it, but not something that will be generally accepted into Nigeria. So, and I'm not that I'm for or against it, but then that's also let us know that context also matters a lot. Just because it works in some other countries does not mean it will always work in our own region. I believe we should be able to have something peculiar to us that even great architects from other countries will be able to.
we should easily identify
Yeah.
Nigerian architecture.
So
Okay, I guess. Is that a hot take? I mean,
like I said,
it
you
has
be the
been
judge of that.
it has been a conversation
Yeah, it's a
for a long
conversation
time
for
now.
a long
Even when we were doing conservation with the
That
no,
conversation.
let me not say I mean, but when we were doing that course, it came up when we did vernacular architecture with the same woman. The topic came up.
Yeah, so-
It is always if you go for all these conferences, all these even on Twitter discourse.
still no changes.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I'm always thinking of. They're always telling us what it should be.
It should be. And
But their age range, all of them,
they didn't do
nobody.
anything. Can you imagine?
I really hope our generation, when we take over, we are not like that.
Put that up in capital letters. Because even our generation will
How
go,
can you be
oh God.
hoping for the next one to fix your problems? I am not even making any
Yeah,
attempts
attempt
to
to lay the foundation.
Even the policies that are around now, like, it's just.
The one thing that even used to crack me up that I talked about with Michael, sustainable architecture. All the measures we've done, sustainable, 1
Yet you
million
can't find
times.
any.
Yeah, there's no real
My
life
God.
implementation
You know.
of it. There's no policy.
There's no policy that's backing all this thing,
They've gone AWOL. You don't even know
Makes me
anything.
wonder what they really, really do.
So I don't know what architecture will be in the next few years, because
I believe even in architecture school, not everyone actually came into architecture school because they found interest in it originally or initially. But I believe those who are really actually going to make impact or difference are those who genuinely know what they actually want to do in architecture. Because an average person who studied architecture will probably just do basic stuff or do what architects do normally. But someone who's going to really make impact is someone who actually knows what he wants to do and what impact he wants to make to the architecture community generally. So it is
But
Jerry.
I guess it's a hot take. It's a hot take that many people share, but let's see.
Yeah.
No, we can ask questions too now. I'm curious to know your own hot take too.
My own hot take.
At least for you to have asked that question means you probably have something in mind regarding that.
Different hot takes come to me, but I think for architecture, maybe in terms of the way that we build, I think Bulu already touched on it in his own episode. We need to do something about windows. We don't need sliding windows. Sliding windows should be banned from sub-Saharan, from southwestern Nigeria. I've not been to other parts of Nigeria. I don't know their weather conditions. But for where we live right now, we do not need sliding windows. Louvers is okay.
Oh my God.
Louvers, even Harmattan don't go. Some people say, it gets cold sometimes. Harmattan don't go. We don't need sliding windows. Sliding windows cut off 50% of the air coming in through the window area. So why do we even have it? Kukuma do small half of the window side.
I do you do that out. They will say
They will still cut down on it.
I recently had one of that kind of experience. So the hostel I'm currently living in, they were using oh my God, they were using metal window, like it was made of metal, so that if you are looking at it from outside, it looks like it's a prison.
Is it casement?
It's not. It's like casement because like you swing it outside. So, but you can open both sides. Like you open both sides towards the exterior. So I think that's what they've been using since they built the hostel. But in the name of they want to renovate the hostel, imagine you having to change the type of window you're using from a metal window that will still even allow 100% ventilation to sliding window, for Christ's sake.
Exactly.
And you know the worst part? There are some rooms that because I think they made the size of each window slide the same for all the rooms. But there are some rooms that it is smaller. So maybe the average width is maybe like 1, 2. There are some rooms that are like 900. Now imagine you still using.
Divide them.
They don't divide it though. It's still the same size that you are using for 1, 2. So by the time you are even opening one side, it's not even up to 50%. It's not like 30 or 40%. For you to know how anytime I think of it, it vexes me a lot.
Gideon, you did not ask me why my hot take is window.
Your room.
My room last year. Oh my God. Oh my God. The thing is, I was first staying in one hostel throughout BSc.
Yeah.
In the beginning of MSc like this, I moved to one other hostel. That's same maintenance. The way I was living with now made me realize it really opened my eyes. Anytime something bad happens to me, I always look at it as a teachable moment. What do I get from it? It really made me appreciate windows. Just windows generally. Like some people do not open windows. Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, they don't open, like you've lived all your life in Osho State.
Damn.
You don't open windows when you're not mad.
Are you guys using AC in your room?
No.
Oh wow, interesting.
I know open windows.
She doesn't open windows.
She doesn't cook.
She will cook, especially
inside.
to stay inside.
But
just that experience alone made me be like,
but at least you have window to your own side, Abby. That's better, even though it's not the best.
We need louvers 24/7. Guess what? Now even made my mind go to sliding. The window, you see this perforated wall in this place. Yeah. That place was sliding window.
The screen was meant. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So now imagine you see that place where Timothy's bed is. The that's where my side was. And this place behind me should not be her own window.
side.
So I'm depending on just that side. So now 50% of that side has been cut off.
Wow.
Plus the
That'll be
50%
cut
of my
off
own
again.
window.
Damn.
That's what now. I think it really opened my eyes that wow. And you know we've hit record hotness this past few. Let's switch to louver windows.
I think there's
Even
also,
when we design in studio, we need to switch to louver windows. We
know,
need to do something
I think
about it.
we were having a conversation earlier, but I think to some extent it still boils down to some extent to regulations. We don't have regulations. If we had a regulation, I think all these things will actually be put to check.
Yes, actually.
Everything. Because I remember working on a foreign project, and I remember having to go through a series of guidelines, codes, just to ensure that it was just a small design. I was like, so imagine me having to go through this series of codes and regulations and guidelines just to ensure that it meets the standard. Now, why can't we actually have the same thing in Nigeria? That's what made me ask the question that I wonder what these architectural bodies are actually doing.
They are not
Because every building code that I'm hearing that they are checking is only that I know is only limited to Lagos. So I'm like, what happened to other states? and it's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. I'm grateful for architecture for our department. Why? Because imagine you being in the EDM space. Whereby it's slightly window they are using this too.
Yeah. The small breeze that is blowing us in the department.
You know that we're always in the studio like practically every day. It's like that's our
that place is
it's
really bad. It's really, really bad.
Okay, Gideon.
Yep.
Let's not spend too much time. Actually, almost 1 hour.
Really?
Yeah, now.
I thought it's 20 minutes.
Sure. Now this is my own best part. This is my amebo coming out.
This is the demo.
Why do I feel like you will disappoint with this thing? I should not.
Maybe you should ask me first. Maybe you should ask me
first. Let me ask you.
You ask me.
Let me ask you.
I laughed.
Do you have any grievance, complaints, or compliments for anybody in our class that you've not had the chance to tell them before now?
You see how disappointing, right? Wait, calm down. Let me think about it. Well, that means I don't have any grievance. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any grievance.
Compliments, uncle.
Well, let me check from part 2. Part 2, no. Part 3, no. Nobody vexed me, so I'm cool with everybody.
Right.
Compliment.
Compliments, uncle.
Compliment. Yeah.
That you've not told anybody. No go they list your friends' names.
Okay.
So. There has to be somebody in class that you've not talked to or you've not really talked in depth with, but you're like, I want to say kudos to this person for so thing.
That's a deep one.
For so thing. No. If you've done something for me in the past, I'll just say thank you to my I think thanks to everybody actually. Those people that I've had the encounter with, I've got to talk to share. Yeah. Everybody, those people that have even got that honor for
what will I use that one for?
Yeah, so I said I'm cool with everybody. That's
everybody.
why.
Did I say you are not cool with everybody? You don't have anybody that you want to compliment. As per this is your last chance to say,
okay, that's true. Okay.
It's not easy now.
Are we mentioning? It's a long list actually, so that's why.
Yeah, run through it. Sharp.
Okay. Mike, I'll say thank you. Mike, yeah. Mike number 1.
So who?
Mike, your body. That's his son now. Your body, Mike. It's been a long time. Your body, Mike. So in part 4, Mike did a lot of don't give up motivation in part 4.
Pastor Mike.
So, Jojo, yeah, Jojo. Thank you so much for your help. This guy. For me. Yeah. For me.
A woman like a mother.
Thank you for the food. Thank you for the food. Thank you for the referrals. Thank you so much. Boboyi especially. Thank you for the referrals. Thank you for the love. Thank you for a lot of people. I'll be mentioning so much people, Sha. Should I continue?
Wait first.
Sorry.
Timi, do you have anybody in mind? Complaints or compliments?
I don't think I would have wanted to complain. I think but 2 people already touched on
That same guy?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
wow.
Yeah. So I don't want that to be. But for compliments, let me. I won't start in order of importance, but I think the number one set of people I want to thank were my group members in part 4. I mean, they made my final year so much easy, so much fun and engaging. Michael, Fumi, Gideon, and Isaac. It was. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better group members to ensure that we were able to execute.
Isaac.
Yeah, he joined us on a much later
okay.
note. So of course I still have to include him. So I think Michael, Fumi. And most especially, I won't say most especially, but Fumi, Gideon already touched on that. She really took care of us. I mean, she was the only female in our group, but she really took care of us. Always watching over us. I won't say watching over us, but she let me just say she took care of us. And I think another person I also want to thank is Boboyi. Oh my God, Boboyi is just that spectacular person. He's just that spectacular person. I remember in part 2, that time I didn't really know so much in terms of some architectural stuff, and I remember having to constantly go meet him. In fact, sometimes I would even go to his house so that we can work on some projects together to ensure that we're able to meet up with deadlines and all that. So I think that's another person I also want to appreciate. And I think generally, I don't think I had any beef with anyone in our class. I was free with anyone. That was always open to conversation. So I think I will appreciate everyone generally. I think. And Thomason too. I mean, he's been my guy since part 1. I mean, I think it was the first? Yeah, I think it was the first, or let me say first or second person that I made friends with in architecture school. And even though he can be really, really frustrating, but I mean, I've been able to put up with it for over how many years now? Over 6 or 7 years. So I mean, I love him so much, and yeah.
Gideon, run through your list. The rest of your list.
Everybody, for real.
Actually,
for real, everybody.
Right.
Everybody.
I can understand,
I
Sha. So many of our classmates, they are really cool people.
They are good people.
I mean, even though there were differences, some things that we could have done better, but still, I mean, it is what it is.
Individually, we are good people.
That's what Timothy also said in this program. Individually.
I really wish a lot of things happened differently, but then it is what it is. That's life. We get to learn from our experiences and hope to do better from there.
Okay, now let's quickly run through these parts. Sharp. Gideon, you start first. You give a message to someone that wants to study architecture, and then you leave a message to your future self.
Okay. I want to study architecture in OAU, or just generally?
I want to study architecture in OAU.
Oh, okay. Okay, if you want to study architecture in OAU, have a plan for yourself. Know what you want out of OAU. I think it's better. So have a list of what you want out of OAU. Then make sure you work towards it and be disciplined to fulfill it. Then to my future self, nothing is coming to my head right now. Nothing's coming to my head.
Oh my God!
Nothing's coming to my head right now.
You don't look. Let's draw the picture. 70-year-old Gideon.
70-year-old Gideon. I'm
70-year-old man.
He's listening to Spotify. Now finds the podcast. Like, I recorded this thing all those years ago. Let me even hear what that person said to me.
Don't click.
That's 70-year-old Gideon. Make sure make sure you achieve all the dreams that you've set for yourself.
All right.
Because I have a lot of things listed. So just make sure. By God's grace. Yeah, I'm just there by God. So just make sure you take it.
All right. That's good. Okay, Timmy, a message to someone who wants to do architecture and to your future self.
Two deep questions. All right, so for someone who wants to study architecture in OAU, and I think I'm going to say this based on my own experience, I think it's really, I won't say really, it's very important for you to actually figure out what you actually want, because architecture school is full of, struggles, and you need something that's going to keep you going. You need something that's going to keep you going through the entire journey, and that something has to be something that has solid foundation. So you really need to know what you want, understand why you are actually in Ife or why you are actually in OAU to even pursue architecture. So it's important for you to actually figure that out, so that you'll be able to, as you're journeying through the school, you're also achieving those things along the line. Because I mean, I remember that some people actually wanted to give up. Now imagine that they had given up. So you, as a person who wants to enter OAU, who wants to study architecture, try to discover your purpose. You might not have it all figured out, but at least know what you actually want, so that you can be able to, navigate through the entire experience, through the entire experience with much ease. And the message to my future self. All right, Timilehin, I do hope and I do believe that you've been able to figure out a lot of things. I want to believe that you've also been able to achieve those dreams, those desires, those things you wanted to do that you couldn't do that you couldn't do earlier. But I really do. I'm hoping that you've been able to, achieve everything, and that you and your family are doing really, really great. I mean, I've always loved the concept of a good family, and I hope that you and your family are doing really, really great. So, thank you. I wish you the remaining, decades, years that you have and your family the best.
All right. That was a good one, Abby.
Yeah, I think.
Happy Valentine's Day to you guys tomorrow.
As well.
I think that's best. That would be best address for Gideon, since
Actually, you have Valentine's Day tonight.
I don't have that.
So why are you not making fun of it?
No, I'm not making fun. I'm saying it in a good note, because I think at the Z still has. Let me not talk too much about it. But it still has an advantage to the extent of having.
Okay. You will explain your advantage.
I have no idea what that
Don't worry. It's not something I can see on the.
We have come to the end of this episode. Do you have any extra questions or comments you want to say? Maybe even to each other.
You've been this person. I actually like your personality.
Me?
Wait, now
I said. Okay,
I'm not saying this to end the entire podcast, but it's.
You can cut it if you want to cut it.
No, don't cut it though.
I know she will cut it.
I'm not the one who did something. Okay.
But I'm curious to know what you desire to, even though you said you might not really study, you might not really practice architecture, but you might go into the teaching line. But I'm curious to know what you might actually wish to do outside the idea.
Okay, what my passion is. Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought I've talked about it.
I think you mentioned, is it screenwriting
and animating.
So for architecture, if I thought you want to do something related to architecture, you're just going to be in the teaching line.
Exactly. I don't like field work at all. Or drawing.
I've aside that, I've always.
If there's an administrative role though, in like a firm, maybe I think I can juggle that. But like the actual nitty-gritty of it, I'm not sure I want to do it. You're about to say something.
Yeah, I don't know how true this is, but
Gideon, you're not really talking.
He's talking now. I want to.
Okay.
I've always had this notion that there's a way you do perceiving, especially in school. So I can't see.
The way I perceive you.
Like perception.
Okay.
About the way you have perception about people. So I've always had this idea that maybe because based on the some of the interactions that we've had, I was like you had to, but you never really maybe stated that. Oh yeah, Timmy, maybe I'm this kind of person. I'm actually curious to know
what I've thought of
yes,
you.
what you think.
Gideon, you want to know what I think of you too?
Oh yeah. Well, me, I don't care, Sha.
It's not about caring, but I'm just like I said, it's curiosity. It's just like this is it being curiosity made me ask.
Curiosity made me ask.
Okay. Do you know I can't even pinpoint exactly when we started speaking, but I've never had a problem with you or like to even have, and like you've just always been one of those cool, like casual, just greet you, hi to me, and we pass, and then and you are one of those few people that I can just come and sit down and decide to talk to, and we'll talk for a few minutes. So in terms of my perception of you, you've just been a very cool, level-headed guy. You don't really have problem. You don't used to disturb everybody. You don't, but I feel we should have been closer, Sha. Maybe the situation just did not account for it.
If I was a much should I say extroverted person, I think that would have helped. But me just being the kind of person, I don't really. In fact, if people usually come to our department that make friends, I don't talk to them except if there's something that just brings us to have a conversation. So I think I would understand why we did not really, maybe not really that close or have much conversation. But it's all cool. It's all cool.
But yeah, a cool guy, Sha. So don't even worry about my perception. I don't know what people are thinking of me. Don't worry. You are cool to me. I'm not going to tell the Gideon what I think because you are so somehow. Gideon, you are so somehow, honestly.
I love that. I love that.
All right. Let's sign out. Our guests have been
Gideon, thank you for having me.
and
Timmy, thank you for having me too.
And I have been your host, Afolabi Bolatfe Micah, aka Dan the Mike. And our producer has been Juju on the beats.
That's his name. That's
Julius. aka Ashi. Alright.
Bye.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye. Peace.